effective study along with buddy. It was the advice of my daddy. Yes, I always remember my father used to say that if you are alone, you will become silent while studying. But if you are along with one person at least, your study might become effective. But if more than one person, in such cases, it will be just like the fish market. And I used to maintain this theory in my college life. Let me tell you, before entrance examination for the engineering, I used to study alone because it was the competitive examinations. There is no meaning for studying with the other person because you need to compete at your own. And for that, you need to have to appear a lot many mock interview, mock test so that you can bring near about the perfections in your answers. That must be quite effective for getting birth in the competitive examinations. But wherever there is no competitions in the class examinations or some preparation, it is always better to study with your friend, with your buddy. So effective study with your buddy. In engineering college, there was very little time because lot of disturbance from the all sources used to come. Many meritorious students, they were quite habituated to burn the midnight oil. That means to remain awake up to the midnight or beyond the midnight for their preparation of the study. But whereas the average student, they are just become illusioned and become enticed to have the fun and the pleasures during the study time, and after that they used to go to sleep. And that's why lot of pressure mounting on us during the study leave. And effectively study leave was around only 15 days before each exams, and that 15 days was not enough. But how to proceed, how to get the effective value of within this short span of the time? For that, there are some groups for the studying. Study with buddy. In my cases also, I had my friend in the college who used to study along with me. And after studying some chapters, understanding some things, we used to discuss so that everything become clear. And after that, I used to make some bullet points, small notes, so that I can reproduce whatever I grasped during the study. So this was very effective study. And really, while studying with the buddy, it gives me extra motivations. For example, time to time, my buddy, my friend used to smoke. But I was not a smoker. At that time, I had some opportunity to go to the corridor and to have a little walk, to drink a glass of water. So in this way, I used to escape from the monotony from the reading along with the buddy. I didn't know that time that exactly this is called the Pomodoro technique, to have the attentive mind in the study. So this is the motivation number one, to study with the buddy. Sometimes we used to share some joke, humorous joke, and that was also very enjoyable at that time. Apart from that, we used to buy a lot of savories and some cakes so that in case of some boredom while studying, we used to take the delicious cake. That is another motivation. And number three motivation was that there was urge to get the great number. There was urge to get the higher number in the percentage so that we'll become the competitive in the upcoming struggle for getting job. And number 4 is that to have the fundamental knowledge so that whenever we have the chance to appear in the job interview, we can speak some things, including the definitions of some things and including the scientific descriptions of what happens when. So these are all the motivation for the study. So motivation of the study for me was the study with the buddy, and during the study sharing some jokes to remove the monotony. And my friend used to smoke and I used to go around in the corridor to have the fresh air and also to drink water, to buy some things, cake or savory, so that I can remove my boredom while studying continuously with my buddy. Third motivation is that urge for getting bit higher percentage in the coming examinations. And fourth motivation is that the more we know, more we'll become confident while facing the job interview. So that was the motivation during my student life. But what motivates me right now? There is no competitions. I'm studying. But even then I'm studying. There is no competition now. I'm already in the fag end of my active career as a mechanical engineer. But till now, I'm motivated to study something, self-improvement books. Just like, for example, the monk who sold his Ferrari. This kind of the book, self-discipline, so that I can teach to the younger generations after my active life of this maintenance engineer. And I'm waiting for those days when I will be active in another field after retirement from this field of the monotonous, boring maintenance job. Because I will have the immense satisfactions in that time to teach the younger generations and particularly the student from the rural areas, because I know the pain for the student in the rural area. There are many graduates, though they are technologically very excellent, but even then they remain behind because they do not know how to present themselves and how to answer the question during the interview. And my job will be to train them, to guide them and to handhold them so that the rural area student will no longer become downtrodden just because of lack of speaking or lack of little bit smartness what is required for the job. So I think in those days I will become immense satisfied in my actions to help the people, to help the rural area student particularly. So that's all about my motivation. And understanding that motivation beforehand, I feel very much enthusiastic while studying the self-development book, because my future glory, my future satisfactions always pull me up for studying the self-discipline, that kind of the self-development books. So this is all about my story, how I become motivated in study. Thank you.